It's a new week in the Crew Motorfest, and this week's theme is called Roller Coaster, and this is my summit guide. Let's go. All right, starting out with the cars, this week it's going to cost you 1.4 million bucks. So you're going to get the Nissan GTR Nismo, the Audi R8 V10 Spider, and the Ford GT. As far as pro settings go for these cars, you can find that on my website. It's militiagamingco.com. Just go there. I have pro settings for literally everything that I've tuned. And if it's not on the website, it means I did not tune it and I haven't touched the car yet. So there you go. Let's talk about the rewards for this week. 100,000 bucks for bronze, 5 fully leveled up legendary street parts for silver, and dark green nitro for gold, with a brand new summit exclusive car, the 911 GT3 RS Tribute to Carrera RS Package Edition. I added edition. Let's get into the events. All right, the first event is with the lone GT3 RS. There's really not a whole lot to this race, but I'll talk about the little places where I feel like are, a little bit necessary to talk about. So this first part, there's not a whole lot. This first turn though, this right-hander, you might be tempted to cut this corner. You can see that there's 2 checkpoints here. You might be tempted to cut this corner. I really wouldn't, because as soon as you get into this dirt, it kind of throws the car sideways, and you get a lot more exit speed if you just take this corner normally. So just take this corner normally and then exit out of it like that. Now in this that jump, you should definitely be using a lot of NOS, because you're gonna throw yourself into the wall here at 19%. Stay on the wall as high as you can, and then cut down towards the end of the turn. So that's basically what that looks like. And if we fast forward to this turn right here at 47, coming out of these the skeleton here, you're gonna want to stay on the road again. Make sure you're staying on the road. Don't hit the wall. Cut it just like that. And I think that's pretty much it. I don't see any more trickiness here, other than, like, stay in the middle of these so that you can hit both of these speed boosts right at the end there. That's about it. So anyway, let's move on. All right, the next race is with the GTR. This one has a couple of tricks. There's 2 actually. So let's fast forward to those. My first tip though is when you hit this first speed boost, I would shift from 2nd to 5th. If you're in manual, go into 5th on that speed boost, and then almost immediately go to 6th. All right, so we've got a rewind and a shortcut here. So going into this first loop at 23, you're going to rewind at the checkpoint, hit the checkpoint, rewind, and then you're going to stop rewinding once you go back through this the start of this loop, and you're going to brake really, really hard on this. And as soon as this wall ends over here on the left, that's when you want to jump off. So you want to jump off to the left here and try to make it onto this track and keep on going. Now this could have been more optimized probably, and I could have done it a little bit faster, but that's the rewind. The thing is, this one is very, very close to the same time whether you do the rewind or you don't. And so if either one of them is unoptimized, the other one is faster. So basically what I'm telling you is, if you don't want to do that, or you're having trouble getting over to the other track and making the jump, then just don't do it. Just drive it normally, because you'll get a better time that way, as long as you can optimize it. Now the last part of this is at the very end here. Let me see. Okay, so we go through this twisty here, and then you get to this point where you have this like roundabout circle thing here. You can skip a lot of this by just cutting inside and then jumping down. So basically just like that. And that's it for this race. So make sure you're doing that. Let's move on. All right, next up we have the figure 8 race with the Audi. I've been in Texas 2 years. I'm calling it an Audi. Okay, the Audi R8. The key to this is staying on the inside of the turns like that. You want to stay as close, as tight to the inside as you possibly can on the turns, and then you NOS as soon as you exit the turns. That's basically the formula. So when you get out of this loop, pay attention, because the road does curve to the left. Curves to the left a little bit, then stay inside, as far inside as you can be. Stay inside, stay inside. As soon as you straighten out, shift up and NOS. And then back to the inside, as far inside as you can. I'm way too far outside there. You want to be right on the blue line. And then shift up and NOS. That's it. You'll get a good time if you can do that every time without losing traction. Let's move on. All right, the next race is maybe my favorite race of the summit. I thought this one was good. I like this one. I think it's the end race for the playlist. It is a fun race to do, and there's not really any cuts to it. There's like a couple of little corners that you can do, so let's get to those. Basically, you don't really want to use too much air nos here, by the way, because you're going to be into this turn right here and you don't want to get into the wall. Anyway, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Okay, after these sharks here, I think I tapped the wall here as well. Yeah, right there. I didn't mean to. You can take this corner pretty much full speed. All right, after this, you want to cut to the left, use a little air nos, and then another little air nos there. That way you keep the car at full speed. And move on to... After this turn here at 46, you're going to cut to the left in between these statues and get yourself lined up with the jump. Nos in the air a lot. So you want to be going really fast when you land here. Take the wall. Wall ride again. It's the same wall. Make sure you jump off of it early. I almost waited too long. And then when you get out of this skeleton area here and you're making a right, you can cut over basically right after this, these white bones here, and get yourself lined up for the checkpoint, and you're good to go. I think that's it. Let me make sure. Make sure you're hitting all the speed boosts that are on the ground and down around this, around the corner. Yep, this is it. That's it. Let's move on. All right, the next event is with the 4GT. This one is the 6th event because the 5th one was a slalom, and we'll do that at the end of this video. This one's pretty easy as well, or not easy, but this one is kind of like, you know, a little bit of RNG, a little bit of paying attention, and you guys will do fine on this one. As far as suggestions or cuts go, there's really none. You just need to pay attention to the obstacles, basically. Now in this part here, I will say this: you don't want to take this jump on this first one, and you don't want to get hit by the little puncher thing that's behind it. So try to get by it if you can. If not, just reset. The second jump, you can take this one. So as you're coming around, you want to make sure you take it to the inside and then use air nos to get going on this part here. Outside of that, man, there's really nothing going on. It's literally just avoiding these things. I will say though, there is room on the outside of these tracks to not have to, you know, mess around with these obstacles. You know, you can get through. They don't go across the whole track, so you have room to move around them. So just pay attention to where they are. Anyway, that's it. Let's move on. All right, the next event with the Audi R8, again, I almost made that mistake again, is pretty fun. This one was good too. There's only a couple of things that you need to pay attention to, so let's go through that. As you get to, let me see here, we go over this guy and then over this guy. All right, so there's a jump here. As you're approaching this this loop here, you can do the same cut that you did on the previous one because it ends in the same spot. So basically, instead of, you know, there's no checkpoint on the loop, so you can just do the cut. So basically just slow down, jump across, and land on the track. Keep on going. That's it. Let me fast forward. I think that was the only one, but I could be wrong. Let's keep going, keep going. Good, good, good. Now you might be tempted to jump from this one over to the left side over here, but then you have to turn the car around and you have to go back the other way. It's just faster just to take the road. You know what I'm saying? Just go through here, go through the road, and you're good to go. This is basically it. The rest of this is all kind of just like straight jumping. So let's move on. All right, the speed trap was in the 8th position. So this will be the 9th event, the very last one. This one is with the 4GT again, and there's some pretty easy things you can do. You had rewind on the previous event, so if you still have rewind on, make sure you turn it off for this event because you need to reset your car right here at the beginning. What you're trying to do is jump off of this jump here and miss the track on the left. So just barely miss the arrows, get yourself into the water. You got to go as far as you possibly can to get this reset to work. If you don't go super far and you're over here like barely over the wall, the reset's not going to work. You got to use all the NOS in your tank, reset when you get to the water there, and it'll put you up where the checkpoint is. Now, once you're here, you're going to pay attention to this jump here on the right. Go right there, and turn your car around and go that direction. And that's kind of it. Let me see. I think the rest of it is just, you know, optimizing your NOS and your lines and using your NOS on the straights. Yeah, so once you come out of here, now pay attention. You got to cut over to the middle. And that's it, man. You got to point the car downward too, so you don't jump over the finish line. Yeah, that's it. Let's move on. All right, real quick about the slalom. these are the parts you need. Score breaker for your set bonus, skilled as one of your affixes, fully maxed out 10% each part. And if you have pure, you know, pure helps as well. But the most important thing is the score breaker set and skilled as the affix. Outside of that, you literally just drive through this and don't worry about it. If you have those parts, you're good. If you have purple parts, make sure you put skilled as your affix. Go re-affix your purple parts to skilled. You get a bunch more points, a lot more, in fact, if you can do that. If you have a set of golds, but it's not a full set, it's just golds, then go in and change the affix to skilled, and you will get more points on this one. I'm telling you, skilled is important. Also your legend points. Do it on skilled on your legend points as well. That is it. Let's move on to the speed trap. This is going to be a doozy. All right. We're going to start right here for the speed trap. You guys are going to think I'm crazy, but this is what happened. Now, I want to say something because you guys might think, oh, he's a little bit late on the summit guide, which means he just looked up how to do stuff. It's not true. Actually, I found this myself. And then after I found it and did it, I checked to make sure the community wasn't doing anything that I wasn't doing, or they did something differently. But I was pretty sure that this was the thing, because there's only one way really to get air into this speed trap, and it's by doing this. Some people do it a little bit differently, but the same tent is what everyone is bouncing off of to do this. So anyway, I went all the way outside the racetrack. So you take the two, there's like a 2 road that goes out away from where I'm at right now, which is like on the other side of the thing, and then you drive all the way around to get to here. The reason I do all of that is to have more NOS on the jump. Okay, so basically when you're here, you jump over the stairs and it lines you up perfectly for this this little, like, I don't even know what you want to call this like pit lane or something like that. Anyway, you hit this, then you hit the stairs, then you hit this tent somewhere in the middle of it, and it launches you towards the speed trap. Okay, just like this. All right, and you're going to be using NOS. There's a lot of rewinding happening. There's a lot of frustration happening. There's a lot of BS happening. Okay, this is just craziness, and that's how the speed traps always are. But you can see you're going to get there. Boom. And within a few attempts, and by a few I mean like 80, it took me like 80 attempts to get this right. I finally got it. So anyway, that's the speed trap. Have fun. All right, here are my final scores. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to send me a DM on Instagram or Discord. I read every single message that comes my way. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, I will catch you on the next one. Trigger out.